Welcome back. We've already seen the basics of how we have to do the basic Python installation, Anaconda distribution using Jupyter Notebook, understanding variables. But now coming to how to print variables and printing different ways of printing, and how we can customize them, how we can format them according to our needs. Let's say, for example, we want to insert variables in a print statement. How do I do that? We understand that by starting with a new, let's open a new Python 3 notebook and just say understanding print. Okay. Now, all I'm going to do is, let's say, for example, I have a variable. Let me say my name. I have a variable called as Elijah. Okay. Surname is equal to, let's say, Matthew. Now, all I need to do is, I need to say, hello, Elijah, Matthew, welcome to Python. So I need to print that. Now, there are different ways of printing it. Number one, I could have printed it like this. Hello, as one statement. Then say, comma, name, comma, surname, comma, welcome to Python. Right? If I run this, hello Elijah Matthew, welcome to Python. Of course, I require a comma in somewhere, after Elijah Matthew, I require a comma. Then I'm going to put a comma just after the welcome. And then I say run. Oh, but still it doesn't look nice, because by default, when you have different things to be printed in the same print statement, we'll understand that as we go ahead when we understand the print function in detail. So we're going to have, as you know, the print statement is going to have something like this. It's going to have, say, hello Elijah Matthew, but because there is a default separation of a space in a print statement, which we already saw, we're going to have something like this happening, which is not that great. So what we're going to do is, we're going to make a few changes. We're going to say, okay, this is not a good way of doing it. But then if you still want to do it in this way, you need to say a comma once again here. And then, or you need to add a comma after the surname, which says surname plus, and then a comma, which does not look that elegant, right? It's not that great. So there is another way of printing it out by saying something like this. Hello. Whenever you want to insert a string, we are going to say something like %s. If you want to insert an integer, you say %d. If you want to insert a floating point number, you say %f. So hello %s, %d, %s, comma, welcome to Python. So what does it mean? I want to insert, wherever there's a %s, I want to insert a string. So at the end of the string, when the string is over with the double quote, I'm going to put a % out there, and I'm going to write there in the bracket out there, I'm going to say, comma, what I want to put there, name, comma, surname. Whatever is the name and the surname, I'll just insert that, right? So if I run this, hello Elijah Matthew, welcome to Python. Are you able to understand that? So with this method, you can even have something like this. If I say A is equal to 2, and if I say B is equal to 3, and if I want to run something like, A plus B is equal to C, okay, I want to run that. I want to put it in a good format. So I'm going to say %d plus %d is equal to %d, because there are three variables which I want to insert in this particular string, and they're going to be A, B, A plus B, right? So 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. A good way of printing, right? This is how you would try to use the print when you have a percentage. But still, this itself is not a very good method when it comes to Python 3, because Python 3 and Guido van Rossum, the founder of Python, or the guy who created Python, he himself is not fond of it. This was because he wanted to give support to the earlier programming languages, but he is fond of dot format method, which we're going to have a look at. Print. What we're going to have is a string. Wherever you want to insert something, let's say I want to insert hello, I want to insert the name. Wherever you want to insert, just put a curly bracket. Hello, curly bracket, comma, welcome to Python. Now, wherever you want to insert, after the string, say dot format. With dot format means format. Format is a string method where in the format method, whatever variables you specify will be inserted in these particular curly brackets. So if I say a comma, sorry, not a comma b, if I say surname, name comma surname, it's gonna be hello Elijah Matthew, welcome to Python. We're going to understand the format method for more details when we come to understanding print statements and how to print them in a particular fashion. Okay, but for now, this is how you would format them when you come to Python. Okay, now there are some times you would want to, okay, so how will I do the next one, that is having integers? The same way, you don't need to say anything much. This curly brackets plus curly brackets is equal to curly brackets, and all I will say is again a dot format. I'm going to put out there a comma b comma a plus b. It will insert all of them in the particular curly brackets. Let's say for example here, if I wanted to insert not a, I want to insert b. So each of them are at a particular index. Okay, so you can actually insert them by saying, okay, I want to first insert b. Now what is b? B is nothing but each of these things have an index. Index meaning they have a position. So a is at position 0, b is at position 1, a plus b is at position 2. So if I want to insert b first, I need to say over here in the curly brackets, I want to insert the first position element over here. Then I want to insert the 0th position element here. And then I want to insert the second position element here. Okay, then I can do that. And if I run that, it will be now printed as 3 plus 2 is equal to 5, not 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Right? If you go for the indexing method, all of them must have the index. You cannot leave one of them empty because it says cannot switch from manual field specification to automatic field numbering. So you need to say over here. So now if I do not specify a particular integer out here, okay, if I do not specify the position out here, and if I run this, it will say cannot switch from manual field specification to automatic field numbering. The reason being, you need to either go for your own numbering, or you need to just allow Python to put its own numbering. So now if you do not specify, it will just put it as a plus b is equal to 5. But if you, let's say, if you put a variable less or a variable more, it will give you an error saying tuple index out of range, because you need to have the same number of curly brackets and the same number of variables which have to be inserted. Remember all these errors, remember these, and while we go for the print statement. Okay, sometimes you might want to do something like printing. You might want to print something like this. Let's say I want to print a number. Let's say it's an integer number which I want to print. Then I want to print something that is a float number, and I want to print a string. Okay, all of them can be done by using dot format. So now I want to print a number out here which I can just say 24 or 240, some big number without a decimal point. Then I want a floating point number with a decimal point, that is going to be 47 or 42154.7896 comma, and then I want to print a string which says which can be just, let's say, Elijah. Now when I run this, it just prints it as it is in a very good fashion as you have wanted. If you want some spaces, commas, you can all specify that, whatever it is. But I don't want any spaces for now because I want to show you something. If I want to say that my first element, that is an integer, needs to be having, it needs to be printed in a very, I need to print it like, I want to print it as a 10-digit number, but there are only how many digits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to print it in a good way. So I can say colon inside that colon. I want to print it with 10 digits. So I can say 10, and I need to also specify what is this. It's an integer, float, or string. So I need to say colon 10d. Now when I see, okay, it is taking 10 spaces to print, but I can't see it. Okay, so I'm going to say something like this. I'm going to say colon, okay, and if I want zeros to be added in front of those integers, I'll just put a 0 before that. 010d, which means I want a number of 10 digits to be printed, no matter what is the number here. So let's say there is a 2, 4, 5, 8, 7, 8, but I want zeros to be appended at the start. For now, if you do not specify the 0, can you see what happens? It's just a space. Okay, you can see that better when you do the floating point value. Let's say, for example, I want a floating point number. There are 4 decimals after the decimal point. I want accuracy of 0.2. Then I need to say 0.2. I need to say 0.2, and then I need to say f, 0.2 f, which means an accuracy of 2 decimals. So now you can see what gets printed is 42154.79. 7896 got rounded off to 79, right? But if you want like, no, I want it as a, not just 0.2. I want it to at least occupy 10 spaces. Of course, I want a precision of 2, but I want 10 spaces. I say 10. Can you see there are spaces come before the 42154? But I also want that, no, before that I want some zeros to be padded. Wherever these spaces are there, I just put a 0 out there and say colon enter. Zeros will be added to the start. You can only put a 0, you can't put anything else. Okay, so this is how you can have padding with zeros and stuff like that. And also you can even say how many digits you want, what is the precision that you would like, and stuff like that. Another thing that you would, what is the use case of this, or why would you want to understand this? Okay, let's say for example I want to print the date of birth, my date of birth. If I want to print like this, so DOB colon, I want to print what? Year, okay, the day, the month, and the year. I want to print it in a good format with the slashes. Okay, so I want to insert what? The day here, the month here, and the year here. So I'm going to say dot format. I need to put 29 comma, I'm born in March, so you can say 3, and then you can say 92 or 1992. I want to insert 1992. Okay, and all I say is a shift enter. It will print it as 29/3/1992. But now tell me, what if I wanted to put a 0 before the 3? Okay, can I put a 0 here? No, it is going to give me an error because it says invalid token. You cannot have an integer with 03. It has to be 3 only. Okay, you can't have an integer 03. Okay, so then how will I put the 0 when I want to print it? I'm going to say over here colon what? Colon 0 0 0D, and then when I say 0, and then how many digits I want? I want at least I want 2 digits. So I'm going to say 0 2D because I want 2 digits. If it is 2 digits, if it is like December, I don't want, if it's 12, I don't want 0 to be added. But if it's something else, I want 0 to be added. So it is a 0 gets padded. If it is 12, nothing will get padded because finally it's just 2 digits, and 0 will be padded only if there is 1 digit and you want to make it 2, just pad a 0 before it. Do you understand what is the use case of this? With this, we complete understanding the print, understanding the format method in detail. Is that very clear? With this, we're going to use this in multiple times all throughout the course. Hope you stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed this video. Do like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.